Hello there, Ray here, and today we'd like to show you guys my new AFK Infinite Bridge Builder. This small flying machine contraption that I invented allows you to be able to AFK and create these infinite cobble bridges. The entire contraption is only 20 blocks, so it's quite small. It makes use of the 1.13 waterlog blocks. I have made quite a few of these contraptions back in the past. If you'd like to check them out, I will put links down in the description. Quite a few for 1.12 and even one for 1.13. The problem with 1.13 one is that some mechanics changed and therefore no longer worked. My previous 1.13 design was quite small, only being 11 blocks, but was built in a snapshot where it was quite easy to move waterlogged blocks as well as the water inside of them. So if you would just power it, it would move the water and the waterlogged block, but now you can see that it has changed. Now there's still a way to move the block as well as the waterlogged block in 1.13 and above, and this is by giving it a short pulse. So a 1 game tick or 2 game tick pulse will allow the piston to instantly move the block that's in front of it directly into its location, allowing the water as well as the block to be placed there, and you won't lose the water source. I show this in my snapshot review video of 1.13 if you want to check that out. So for this to work, the waterlogged block has to be directly in front of the sticky piston, and I'm just powering it with a short pulse from observer over here. So if a cobble would generate right here, you can see it pushes it. But like my previous design, this design doesn't need a armor stand with a Frostwalking enchanted boots on it to move the ice forward. It uses a 1.13 waterlog block. And because of this, it makes it quite cheap to build up. Now there was a bug when I first built this during the snapshots. You probably see me if you're watching my streams build this up, but there was a bug to do with placing liquids such as lavas against waterlogged blocks. It wouldn't work, and they have since fixed this. So you don't need to use an end rod if you don't want to. You can come in here and place in a stair. And the way that you would operate this machine is that you would sit inside this minecart, then aim against the edge of the stair here, and make sure that you would be in survival. Then you just hold down your right click button and AFK like this. And as the machine moves forward, the lava stays in its place, and therefore it will end up coming near your face, which you will pick it up and then place against the stair, which will place it to the side again. Really glad that they fixed this bug because that really simplifies this, makes this contraption quite cheap. As you see, the materials to build this is pretty simple and allows you to make a really big impact on your world. If you're not sure how to AFK with buttons held down, the best thing I would do is just come into your controls and swap out like your pushing down button. Here's your right click one. Just swap it out for something like your space bar. This will allow you to be able to just put weight down on your keyboard, and then you can aim in the right spot. Now you can also use the F11 trick, which is when you hold down like a button and then you press F11. Once your screen goes black, lift up on it. This will also work on the very first try. If you do repeated tries, it won't work. Another option is to hold down your right click button and then unplug your mouse, and then it'll keep it held down. Now using all these methods, you still have to have the cursor on the screen for it to work. You can't go and like tab out to a different screen. I slowed the game down using a tick rate mod so you can see what's happening. The player would be sitting inside its minecart. He'd be holding down right click against this end rod, which allow him to place the lava off to the side. This would also prevent him from picking it up again because he's no longer in line of sight. Now the lava will first flow downwards and then to the side. When it flows downwards, it's going to be in contact with this waterlog block. Even though it's indirectly, it's going to create cobblestone here. This is going to update this observer, which is going to cause this piston to pull. And then we got piston here as well as up there, which will update and then push forward again. In which case the player would be able to be in line of lava again, and he'd be able to pick it up with his lava bucket again. It all happens very quickly. Even when I slow the game down, you can see that it's quite small and happens very efficiently. The Infinite Bridge Builder will work in every single dimension. You don't have to worry about waterlog blocks freezing. It can even work in the end dimension. It just won't work in the nether dimension because there's no water there. So you could use this in the end dimension to make some bridges across the islands, and maybe even just AFK and then come back and look for some end cities that you may have passed by. But you can also use an overall, just make sure that if you're going through biome that are quite tall, you raise your machine up. So to build this up is quite simple, as you just put down these blocks here. This block can be any type of block that you want it to be, so it could just be like a scaffolding block. Then to put in the minecart, all you need to do is have a rail that is facing that direction. So you need to make sure your rail is turned, and then just have a minecart there and push it over there, then remove your scaffolding blocks. The reason why we use a minecart, because when the player is inside the minecart, he is being controlled by the server side, and that means it is unlikely for him to make a mistake while he's placing lava up against this here. Otherwise, the player could clip through the block if he's not inside the minecart and fall down through the world, or mess up on picking up the lava. Now you see this observer is pointing downwards, and this observer is pointing over into this piston. Then we have an observer that is back in here. This one is pointing into this block, which goes for this piston here. In front of here, we have some stairs. The way that these are set up is if I just remove this, the way they put these stairs in is that you would put a stair in that's facing like this, and then when you put a stair in like this, it will turn this stair, allowing the water not to be able to flow out on this side or this side because there are flat sides, and it can't flow out underneath because it's also a full side. It won't be able to flow out on this one side because there's a block there, and also can't flow out this direction because this block is here. So if you waterlog this, the water has nowhere to go but just to stay there. And then what you do is just put another stair in like this. And this is a stair that the player will click his lava bucket up against. Now with 1.13, the lava no longer updates with random ticks, and this makes it really consistent. Also, I use the fact that the lava will first flow downwards before flowing to the side. This allows me to be able to have it update really quickly. As you see, once it goes downwards, it creates a cobblestone and moves the whole machine forward, allowing you to reset it. A small AFK infinite bridge builder. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you guys found this interesting, show me the like and share this with others. If you'd like to see more crazy contraptions like this, I have over 300 videos all about crazy stuff that can be done in vanilla survival. So check out my channel and go ahead and subscribe, and tell me some other cool things that you think this could be used for down in the comments. Bye bye!